Welcome back to another video, everybody. We have a lot to cover today. Today was one of the craziest days in the market that we have seen in a while, and these days in the market recently have been absolutely crazy. We have some very important statements from the Trump administration, some counter statements from Iranian officials here, and then we also have to talk about two very important dates and catalysts here coming up so that you guys as investors know exactly what to expect moving forward as we get into the spring and summer months here. So before we get into all of that information, everybody, if you guys do enjoy the information and analysis I provide for you guys in these videos here, make sure you go down and hit that like button. Costs you nothing to do it, but it helps me out a whole lot in spreading this information out to as many people who actually want to learn. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you guys are and turn on notifications so you're notified every time these videos do end up getting posted live. So let's get right into it here, everybody. Again, the S&P 500 was up about 1% today, which going into the weekend after the Friday that we had, a lot of people were expecting some sort of Black Monday scenario here in which the market would trade meaningfully lower here, maybe getting down to some of these lower levels here below 640, but that is not what we saw happen because earlier this morning, we saw this tweet right here. I am pleased to report that the United States of America and the country of Iran have had, over the last 2 days, over the weekend, very good and productive conversations regarding a complete and total resolution of our hostilities in the Middle East. Based on the tenor and tone of these in-depth, detailed, and constructive conversations, which will continue throughout the week, I have instructed the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure for a 5-day period, subject to the success of the ongoing meetings and discussions. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Now, if you're reading this here and you think it sounds familiar, it's because it does. It's the same type of playbook that the Trump administration and Donald Trump himself was using during this Liberation Day period last year. We would see these significant tariff rates being put on these countries here. There would be some negotiations, and then they would kind of push back some of these tariffs here, delay them a little bit, and maybe even completely cancel them as a whole in some cases. But we didn't necessarily see this massive taco reaction that everybody was expecting because of this follow-up statement right here. Iran's foreign ministry denies President Trump's statement on peace talks and says Iran has had no direct or indirect contact with the United States. So whether or not there are actually talks going on right now, there probably are being conversations being had across the board. What this really does show us is that at this point in the escalation and in this conflict in the Middle East, the Trump administration is now willing to come to the table and negotiate some sort of ceasefire or peace agreement between all the parties involved. Now, while this is a very welcome development out of the market here, seeing again the market starting to rally off of these lows, some of the more growthy names or kind of the typical kind of retail names starting to fire off, such as Palantir. Congratulations to everybody in the LTMP community that I run. Again, paying attention to the watch list, that one over there, you absolutely epic moves today. Congratulations to everybody on the gains. If you guys want a 2-week free trial in there, make sure you guys check out that link down below. But we are starting to see some of those movements happen across the board. But the one thing that I was saying all day long today on the private streams that I do for the group is that, yes, this is the initial sign of things starting to move in a positive direction, but we can't get too excited yet. And why is that? Well, oil is still trading at significantly elevated levels here, even though we did see a big move down in oil today, down about 9.5%. And while many people are going to look at this as a positive development, which it is, the damage has already been done within the system. When we take a look at PCE here, ever since October of last year, we have seen a significant increase in the year-over-year PCE price index here, which again is the Fed's preferred metric of inflation. And then recently, we also saw a significant move to the upside here in PPI, the producer price index. And the most important part about that metric there is that, again, it was covering the period before we saw that massive oil spike. So that has not been incorporated into really any of this inflation data that we are seeing right now. So going into the next month, April here, when we get that next round of inflation data, it is most likely going to be very elevated. And like I said in prior videos, the context of the situation that we're dealing with at the time, mainly where is oil in relation to, again, the time frame that this next inflation report is coming out, is going to be really important. If oil is still trading at these elevated levels and we see these really hot inflation reports, well, we're going to see some pretty drastic moves in the market. We have already seen, again, the projections for rate cuts by the end of this year now are at 0. The market right now is pricing in a grand total of 0 rate cuts going into the end of this year. There's a 12.3% probability, according to overall market expectations here, of a rate hike and a 15.5% probability here of one rate cut in 2026. And because of all of these now new expectations across the board for rate cuts, rate hikes, and just overall monetary policy globally, we are starting to see that big paradigm shift that we've talked about a lot on the streams and in prior videos here, where these assets that have been moving up, that are pricing in this global easing, are now starting to move sharply to the downside, mainly gold right here, which we can see reflected on the chart here. Gold ended up finishing down about 2.25% on the day, and we also saw yields moving very significantly here. Now, the other thing that we've talked about a lot is, where is the Trump put? Meaning, where is the max pain point that this administration is willing to endure? Is it a level in the S&P 500? Is it a level on oil? But as we saw today, it is most likely an area in the bond market here, where we saw the 10-year Treasury yield go all the way above 4.4%, hitting a peak of about 4.445% here, and the 2-year yield, which again is going to be a pretty solid indication of where market participants think overall monetary policy or Federal Reserve moves are going to go in the near future here, saw a massive spike too before we saw that initial tweet come out. So what this Trump administration is really trying to do right now is, one, save the market and make sure that we don't cascade to new lows, and also signal to the global community and mainly Iran that they are now willing to negotiate. Now, with everything else that we've talked about here, again, we have that potential for a little bit more volatility in terms of the macro picture when it comes to that new inflation data coming out next month. But we do have two other very important catalysts that I want you guys to understand and know are coming up in the near future that can be very bullish here. The first one, which we actually have a set date for right now and is really official, Washington has set April 9th as the date to end the war in Iran here. So right now we have that 5-day kind of grace period here where they're going to be negotiating, figuring out kind of what everybody wants out of this situation here, and how to basically most efficiently de-escalate these new developments in the Middle East. And again, we could still see continued strikes, kind of skirmishes back and forth here up until this April 9th date. So we know kind of this situation with oil. We know that this conflict is going to be coming to an end, but there is a potentially really bullish catalyst coming up for the market, maybe in April, maybe in May. We are still now waiting for that confirmed date. But right here, Trump and Xi summit is on hold until the Iranian conflict ends. The important part about this is that a lot of what was happening when we started to see the Iranian conflict starting to pick up here with this escalation in the Middle East, we had this Trump and this U.S. and China summit looming over everybody's heads. The trip was ended up being scheduled a little bit shorter. They weren't going to be able to go to as many cities as they wanted to. And think about how big this China negotiation is for the Trump administration here. They want to get this Iran situation behind them before they now look towards China and say, okay, can we come to better trade agreements here for both parties involved? And that could be a very bullish catalyst for the market moving forward if we can see some positive developments out of this meeting here. Now, thinking about what all of this could do to the market over the next couple of weeks and months here, again, like I told you guys before, ideally, in a perfect world, we would actually see the market trade down to these prior all-time highs over here, right around 613 on the SPY. That would provide some unbelievable buying opportunities for any medium to long-term investors here. It would set us up for some absolutely record-breaking swing trades coming in the near future. But again, if we were to end up seeing more positive developments with these talks between the US and Iran, getting us back up into this prior area of consolidation and chop zone that we were trading in for quite some time, oil starts to move to the downside there, and we end up getting that second round of inflation data here that a lot of people are very worried about. The market hopefully is able to shake that off, and then it can look towards that Trump and China summit here, the US and China summit, where some positive trade developments could actually come out of that. And then we are going to be right in the thick of it again with earnings season going into the summer here. So we have a lot of craziness, guys, queued up for the next couple of weeks here. We are going to have a lot of crazy action ahead. And again, at the end of the day, like I've said a lot over the last couple of weeks here, sometimes the best decision in the market, and quite honestly, most of the time, the best decision in the market is to sit back, relax, and do nothing. Inaction is not you not being productive in the market. Preserving capital is one of the most important things any investor of any experience level can be doing in these times here. So that is going to wrap up this video, everybody. If you guys did enjoy the information and analysis that I provided for you guys in this video here, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it helps me out a whole lot in spreading this information out to as many people who actually want to learn. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you guys are, and turn on notifications so you're notified every time these videos do end up getting posted live. But until next time, guys, I will see you. Peace.